we are celebrating our students this month. We're celebrating our character trait called integrity. Mrs. Support has been doing a nice job talking in the announcements all about integrity. I like a lot that she said the other day that when you make a promise, if you keep that promise, that's one way you show integrity. Right, Emilia? Right? So keeping your promises, it's always doing the right thing, even though what? Even when, you can say it aloud, I hear a lot of you. Right, when no one's paying attention to you, you always still do the right thing, even if you could do the wrong thing. No one would see you, right? They still choose to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. So always keep it in mind, we always want to be respectful to others, follow school rules, be kind, be helpful, keep our promises, help others, even when no one's watching, right? We are to being our best selves all the time. So we are going to start off. Who do you think we're going to start with? What grade? You think so? Oh my goodness, you guys are so smart. We're going to start with kindergarten. So first group we're going to talk about is from Miss Medici, Grace Sarn. Come up and see Mrs. Levine and Mrs. Sakura. Get your cake. Good. This is the first time we've ever done this with a big projector. So see how Mrs. Sakura, Grace, come on up. We're going to stand right on this black line so everyone can see you. Hold up your awards, smile big, so we can all celebrate you. Miss Medici said Grace shows integrity in our classroom by always working hard and helping those in need. She tries her hardest to make good choices and make her best effort to change them if she's not doing the right thing. She always says, oh, hold on, let me make a better choice. I'm proud of how far she has come. So let's give Grace a big round of applause. Great, Grace. We'll invite to come stand up next to Grace from Mrs. LaBella's class, Valerie and Marisela Mordiales. Mrs. LaBella said that Valerie displays integrity in the classroom. I can always count on her to be honest, meaning tell the truth, even when she's not doing the right thing. So sometimes she makes a mistake, but she says, oh, that was me, and she corrects it, and she corrects her behavior even when she makes a mistake. So let's give Valerie a nice job. Come on, guys. All right, for one more class, we have Mrs. Miller, one of our new students to the building this year. Kylie Thomas. Mrs. Miller said, I can always count on Kylie to do the right thing. She is very responsible and a great role model in our classroom. Let's give our kindergartners a huge round of applause. What grade's next? Nice. So we're moving on to our first graders. From Miss Del Grego's class, we have Saluda Nasaradine. Oh, he's dressed like her today, looking so dressed up. Looking sharp. All right, let's put on our lesson ears. Miss Del Grego said Saluda is a great example of integrity. He is honest and a great role model. I can always count on him to do the right thing, even when nobody's watching. Let's give him a nice big round of applause again. All right, we'll have to join him up front from Mrs. Karen's class, Ria's Al-Shara Bali. Mrs. Karen said Mrs. Bruno made a mistake and she did not paste in there. Mrs. Karen, can I put you on the hot spot? Mrs. Bruno forgot to paste in there. You want to say something about? Oh my goodness! Miss Del Grego. Oh, there we go. For Miss Del Grego, for Riaz. Mrs. Karen. Oh my goodness. And she's in a meeting. Well, Riaz, you know what I see you do all the time in the hallway, you're always quiet in the hallway, following directions, right? Helping your friends, always making the right choice, even when I'm not looking in the library, my back is turned. So let's give Riaz a round of applause. Sorry about that, Riaz. All right, and then lastly, from Mrs. Folletti, now we've got the right one up there, Ava DeMugo. Not here today. Let's give her a big round of applause. I'm still going to read what Mrs. Folletti said because I think it's always still good to hear what it means when you show integrity. So Mrs. Folletti said, Ava always demonstrates integrity. She's kind, thoughtful, and makes good choices even when no one is watching. She also always does what she says she's going to do. I like that. Like Mrs. Sikora said, right? Keep your promises. If you say you're going to do something, you do that thing just like you promised. Great. Let's give all of our first graders a big round of applause. That brings us to second grade. From Mrs. Grimes, we have Aaliyah Rodriguez. Smile. Mrs. Grimes says Liam is always making decisions, making the right decisions. He's always honest and does what he needs to be done when no one is watching. He's a role model to all of his peers when it comes to making good choices. So let's give Liam a nice big round of applause. All right, to join him in second grade for Mrs. Kennedy is class Emily Top. Mrs. Kennedy said, Emily is always making the right choices when no one is watching. She's always works hard and helps her friends when they need it. She's always honest and is a very respectful young lady that strives to do her best at all times. Let's give Emily and Liam a big round of applause. Nice work, second graders. All right, Emily and Liam, you can take a seat for a few minutes. We'll call you back up in a little bit. All right, in our E&L classes for Mrs. Kadick, we have Q2 in kindergarten. Nice work, Pooh. Mrs. Kadick says Pooh has a positive attitude and comes to E&L ready to learn every day. She's honest, meaning she tells the truth. She works hard and she exemplifies the quality of a student with integrity. And Mrs. Kadick says she's so proud of you, Pooh. Let's give Pooh a big round of applause. All right, Mrs. Levine shows Aseel down in second grade. Come on up, Aseel. Mrs. Levine said Aseel works hard to do what is right, even if she is the only one. She is honest and kind. She's worked so hard this year to become a wonderful role model to her students in our class. Keep up the good work, Aseel. Big round of applause. Good job for doing Aseel. All right, special area from Miss Oliver and Jim, we have Coriana Brown. She's not here today. Oh, bummer. Well, Miss Oliver said Coriana, she can always count on her to be honest and keep her classmates, help her classmates make the right choice. So congratulations to Coriana. And coming up again, our second award is Leah Rodriguez. Come on up again, Leah. I know, 2 awards for integrity for Liam, so he must be showing integrity at all times. So I chose Liam for library. Liam makes smart choices at all points of the day. He approaches every situation with honesty, again telling the truth, and fairness in mind. He's a student you can trust to give a task to, and you don't have to worry about whether or not he'll do the right thing. You can send him on a little errand, and you know that errand will get done, and he will work hard and follow all the rules as he does it. So let's give Liam another round of applause. And from Mrs. Malozzi, she doesn't always pick a K-12 student, but she did, and guess who she chose? Liam's sister, Maya. Up here. Mrs. Malozzi said Maya shows true integrity every day at MLK. She's honest, kind, respectful, and responsible. She cares about others and works hard to learn new things. She's a great role model for her classmates, and I'm so proud of her and know that she will do great things in the future. Keep up the amazing work, Maya. Let's give the Rodriguez siblings a big round of applause for our Principal Award.
First, before I do that, I want to say congratulations again to all our friends, because showing integrity is really, really hard sometimes, because our friends in kindergarten and second grade, they're just learning the rules, right? So making the right choice all the time is not easy, sometimes even for adults. So let's give a big round of applause to my winners today. And my winner for this month is Mr. Thapso. Continuously does the right thing, even when it's difficult, that is helpful to his friends, and even encourages positive behaviors from his peers. I have heard that encouraging kids to make the right choice and do the right thing. And not to mention that is always smiling. Every morning I say good morning, Thap, and he says, it's a great day. So congratulations, Thap. I'm very, very proud of you.
All right, one last round for applause for all my friends who got awards today. Good job, everybody. Working so hard on being the best kids we can be. So good work. I'm going to start with our third graders. Vinny Tun for Miss Gomez. I'm still going to read what Miss Gomez said, because I think it's still good to hear how you show integrity, right? So Ms. Gomez said Vinny demonstrates integrity daily. He always makes the right choices, helps his classmates without being asked, and always has his work done. He also loves plain Lay's potato chips, so he's now called Chip Man. So here's me, Vinny, called him Chip Man. Fun fact. All right, for Mrs. Kamisic's class, Amy Tenenzaka. Amy. Mrs. Kamasic said, Amy makes good choices even when it is difficult. She's kind and thoughtful towards her classmates and teachers. Keep up the good work, Amy. Let's give her a big round of applause. Fourth grade. All right, for Mrs. Chapman's class, Kathy Min. Mrs. Chapman says, Kathy is always making the right choices. She's also very honest, is the type of student everyone can count on and trust. Congratulations and keep up the good work, Kathy. All right, for Mrs. Miller's class, our other fourth grade class, Emily Boyos. Mrs. Miller said, I can always trust that Emily will do what she needs to do, even when not in an adult's presence. She makes good choices and works hard, and keep up the good work, Emily. Give those fourth graders a big round of applause. Doing this another time over here. Fifth grade, we're going to start with Mrs. Gula. Thank you. Mrs. Gula said Frankie always comes into school ready to learn and do his job. He's a good friend, always tells the truth, and does his best that he can on his schoolwork. And he's a great role model for all others. Keep up the good work, Frankie. All right, for Mrs. Novus, another new student, Jana Mohammed. Mrs. Nova says, our class chose Jana for integrity. She is new to our school and always makes the right choices. She is a hard worker and completes all of her work. Keep up the good work. All right, to round us off for fifth grade, we are going to have Mr. Tutino Esmeralda Crisantos. Up here. I'd love to see it. Esmeralda Carla demonstrates integrity each day she is in my room. She makes good decisions and takes care when deciding how to spend her time and with whom. I can always count on her to make the right choices and to be honest with me. Let's give those good praise. Sixth grade award from Mrs. May's class, Shermu Lafar. Mrs. May says, Shermu is my student of the month, and she shows integrity by doing what is right and being honest, even when it is difficult and hard. She's a pleasure to have in class, and I'm proud of the person she is. Keep up the good work, Shermu. Trivia, like, oh, there's Miss Rouser had a lot to say about Travion, which I love. Travion has developed a character of integrity and demonstrates that each day in our classroom and in our school, he understands the value of making good choices. He is a role model for our class and was always willing to help our classmates make good decisions. His classmates know that they can go to him for help, and he is genuine and a kind friend that will lead them with integrity. We appreciate you, Travion, and keep up with the good character. All right, and that leaves us with Miss Hartman. I'll get your line. Oh, I like you. Come on up, Alexander. Ms. Hartman said Al Cantor always can be trusted to do the right thing, and he takes pride in his work at school. His wonderful behavior and integrity makes him a great leader in our class. Thank you, Al Cantor. Miss Neal said Omar always does the right thing without being told. He has high standards for himself and has genuine respect for his peers and his teachers. Let's give all of our sixth graders a round of applause. On to ENO from Mrs. Levine, Karam Al-Bakori. Rob is one student I can always count on to make good choices. He is honest, hardworking, and kind, and he works very hard every day and is a role model to others. Let's give Karam a nice round of applause. Right, Mrs. K from Mrs. Kadick. I'm having a hard time today. Luzbin Palacio Flores. Over here as it makes its way up. Mrs. Kadick said that Luzbin is respectful, thoughtful, and truthful. He encourages others to do well and always tries his best, and I'm so proud of his effort. Let's give Luzbin a nice round of applause. All right, and lastly from Miss Bryety, inviting back up to the stage, Kathy Min. Kathy was very upset with me yesterday. She was like, somebody gave me 2 letters. They made a mistake. I was like, no, Kathy, I think that means you got 2 awards. So Kathy naturally shows her integrity every day in class. I know that when I look out at the class or walk around the room, I will see Kathy doing what is right. She's always working hard, paying attention, helping those in need, and being respectful and responsible. Keep up the good work, Kathy. We'll all bring it up and give our class. Nice job. Reading and resource. So we have from Miss Van Dyke, Carlos Silva Fiore. Mrs. Van Dyke said, Carlos makes good choices and shows integrity. He follows school rules and he is respectful of others. Nice job, Carlos. I'm sorry, Miss Van Dyke, I won't fix And then we have Mrs. Malozzi, Aubrey Ely. I like how we've seen Aubrey up here a couple times this year. Aubrey is kind and caring students as Miss Malozzi. She shows integrity throughout the day here at school. She makes good choices and is trustworthy. I enjoy her sense of humor, and I'm proud of her effort to work hard on all of her assignments. Keep up the amazing work, Aubrey. Nice job, friends. All right, special areas from Ms. Oliver and Jim, Jollies Williams, and Jesus. Jollies demonstrates integrity by always being responsible and doing the right thing. Nice work, Jollies. All right, for myself in library, I chose Joseph Salute. Joseph approaches everything he does in the mindset of respect for himself and for others. He shows responsibility every day when performing his duties as safety patrol officer and has courage to speak out when he sees something that's not right, fair, or just. Joseph, has a strong moral compass to guide him even when no adult is watching. We are going to move right along to Mrs. Sikora. We have
Good morning. So my winner for this month for integrity is Meredith. She always does the right thing. She's a positive influence to her peers. She encourages other students to make good choices and does so even when it's difficult. I am so proud of you, May. Keep up the good work. I also would like to take this opportunity to congratulate one more student. Yes, ma'am. Joseph Salute was chosen today for our Optimist of the Year award. So congratulations.